The first Sunday after Easter is the Feast of Mercy. Where does this feast come from? From Jesus himself. Jesus said to Saint Faustina, "I want a feast of mercy." The first Sunday after Easter is the Feast of Mercy. My daughter, tell the whole world of my unfathomable mercy. I want the Feast of Mercy to be a refuge and sanctuary for all souls, and especially for poor sinners. Jesus wants a feast of mercy, and this desire has been confirmed by the Church. Pope John Paul II in the Jubilee year 2000 instituted this feast for the Universal Church, inscribing it in the general calendar and giving the first Sunday after Easter, or the second Sunday of Easter, the name Divine Mercy Sunday. Jesus has promised many great graces on Divine Mercy Sunday. He said in the diary of St. Faustina, "On that day, the depths of my mercy are open. I pour out a whole sea of graces on souls that approach the fount of my mercy. Any soul that makes its confession and receives Holy Communion will have its sins and punishment completely remitted. On that day are open all the divine floodgates through which graces flow. Let no soul fear to approach me, even if its sins be as scarlet. My mercy is so great that through all eternity no mind, neither human nor angelic, shall fathom it." Whatever is happening in the world, for Jesus, the first Sunday after Easter, or Divine Mercy Sunday, is the Feast of Mercy. He wants this day to be a refuge and sanctuary for souls, a place where we run for shelter to be safe. This day, Jesus wants us to run to Him. The words of Jesus from the diary do not give any provisions for extraordinary situations, such as this current virus pandemic that has caused the shutdown of public church services and drastically limit the possibility of going to the fount of mercy, to the sacraments. What operates therefore at this time is trust. Trust in whom? In what? Trust in Jesus. Trust in His words. Never more so than in this situation. It's good to ask ourselves in times like this, what do we think of the promises of Jesus related to the Feast of Mercy? When it would be impossible for some to go to the fount of mercy, how do we believe the Lord will act? This question is about what kind of person do we believe Jesus is? Someone who demands the impossible? Someone who is unreasonable? What we should focus on when celebrating Divine Mercy Sunday during this extraordinary circumstance is the essential truth. God is good. Infinitely good. He wants to give us His love, His grace, and His mercy. He has a sea of graces prepared for each one of us. He is an ocean of mercy. God is love and mercy itself. This is the most fundamental truth. Do we believe? God is. He is almighty, eternal, eternal love. His mercy is forever. Do we really understand what that means? Or do we answer anthropomorphize God and think, oh well, now he's merciful, tomorrow not so much. There is a virus outbreak, people can't go to Mass and receive him in Holy Communion, shops closed, no mercy to pour out for people. Is that how we think God is, or how God will behave? Let us focus on God, who He is. Focus on what He wants to do. And let us also do our part, what we can. But it's so little, because His mercy is freely given. Today, Jesus wants us to publicly worship, honor, and revere His mercy. How? At this time, we still can display the image of divine mercy in our homes or even outside of it, in our gardens, facing the streets, decorate it, declare it publicly that we, our family, venerates the image of divine mercy. We give honor to the divine mercy. Jesus wants this picture to be publicly venerated today, this day, Divine Mercy Sunday. We can also do acts of mercy out of love of Jesus, through deed, word, and prayer. Jesus said that on Divine Mercy Sunday, there should be deeds as well. This is true praise and honor of God's mercy and is an unshakable evidence that we love Jesus. We can also continue to strive for conversion, reject sin, vice, and those obstacles that prevent God from living fully in our hearts. This is not easy when we focus on ourselves. That's why we need to turn constantly to the risen Jesus who conquered sin and death. Continuing conversion is really cooperation with the risen Jesus. Through continuing conversion, we show that we love God. And it's also an exquisite act of mercy toward our neighbor because it benefits them as well. Today, the ideal is to go to Mass and receive Jesus in Holy Communion, having first gone to confession. However, understandably, for many, it will be impossible to go to the sacraments. So let us open our hearts to the Lord who is present, the living Lord, the risen Lord. Space or distance is no obstacle for Him. Watch the Mass broadcasted live on TV or live streamed online. Participate in spirit. Receive the Lord in our minds, hearts, and spirit. Make a spiritual communion and believe in Him and in what He can do and wants to do in us. In the Gospel of St. Luke, it says, nothing will be impossible for God. Let us really put ourselves in His hands and trust in Him, in His word. Jesus said, the graces of my mercy are drawn by one vessel, and that vessel is trustfulness. The more trustful a soul is, the more it will receive. Souls that have boundless trust are a great comfort to me, for into such souls I pour all the treasures of my graces. I am pleased when they ask for much, for I want to bestow much, and even very much.